Have you checked the children? Your little mad sometimes.
Hi, I'm Chucky. Wanna play?
Sometimes that is better.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Howdy folks, welcome back to the Horror Show. I'm Robert Duell.
And you got Jaime and Fuego here for another patron request. Our dude Scuba Steve, long time supporter of this channel. We appreciate the hell out of you, man. And this is a Euro slasher from, I think, 2016?
2011.
2011, oh shit.
Yeah.
That far back, okay.
Yeah.
Well, this is Blood Runs Cold, and it's not one that wowed me, if I'm gonna be fair, but there was some gore that kind of, made things a little bit more interesting. It was rather apparent, though, as Robert and I were talking off camera about before we started filming this, that we had some ESL, Euro peeps, at least in my estimation, for the most part. So dialogue delivery was a little stilted, and the story was very just plottingly boring, and the characters weren't particularly likable. But I mean, I guess it was shot decently, and there were some nice and gory kills. But aside from that, I didn't find much merit to this one, man. What about you?
This was actually kind of a chore for me to get through. I've said it before. I'm not a big slasher fan.
Me neither, actually.
But between the dialogue delivery and even some of the camera work, I didn't like it. It took me out of the movie. It felt very low budget, and even for some like really low budget movies, I've still found them enjoyable as long as your story is good. You can have bad cinematography and everything, but you can make up for it in other little ways.
And there's some delightfully bad movies too. I mean, this wasn't of that help.
Yeah, but like Fuego was saying too, we did have some really nice kills in here and everything. Even though a couple of them we did get off camera, which was a little disappointing.
Yeah.
But other than that, I wouldn't watch this movie again.
Yeah,
I didn't find much enjoyment with this, sadly.
Yeah,
even with our big bad.
Yeah. Who was? I mean, he had interesting enough design, I suppose, and just hinted mythology of is he dead or not? What's going on with those frostbitten hands? But I mean, story really for me, this is about as bare bones by the books as you get. You've got this girl who is apparently a famous musician of some sort.
Yeah, some artist, musician, something like that.
Yeah, and so she's taking a little siesta, and she's at this cabin that's been rented for her out in the middle of the frostbitten wilderness. And I guess it's her hometown, or at least somewhere she's lived previously.
Yeah,
because she's bored, and she goes out to the bar, and she runs into an ex-boyfriend. And those scenes with those people were so awful. I just.
That's what I was saying. The line delivery, the chemistry, it was so off-putting.
Especially the friend of the former flame of hers, the guy who was the snarky asshole of sorts. He was terrible, and the way he was talking to his girlfriend was making me cringe, man. He was talking smack to her. Exactly, big time guy who just makes fun of his girlfriend and acts like an asshole to her, and then he's just "I'm sorry, baby," that sort of shit. It was really. Yeah, it was just poorly written dialogue, and unfortunately the acting didn't really do much to serve it up. But
not at all. Yeah,
they go back to said pad to party a little bit further after the bar, and that's where our said slasher that we saw at the very beginning. I did the opening of the movie. I was this actually could be interesting, even though it was an off-camera kill.
Yeah,
I thought it was shot interestingly enough, and that guy was all grisly, bloody, and at least
I
the
will
makeup
agree.
work
I will
thought
definitely
looked
agree
good
with you
on
on
him at
that.
the beginning. And then when the acting started, I was like, oh, okay, so this is what we're in for. So, I mean, story, probably, you're on the same page.
I'm right there with you. There's not really much else to tackle onto that. It's pretty generic slasher, kind of lost in the middle of a snowstorm kind of thing, no escape.
Yeah, and starts picking people off, and that's about the
really about
extent of it. Yeah,
and rather quickly, too.
Well, I mean, this was a 75, 80-minute movie.
Something like that,
it was very brief.
It could have been
which I'm actually,
30 minutes.
I was kind of appreciative of the fact that it didn't take up even more of my time than it could have in some ways.
Yeah, no, most definitely. No. They couldn't, if they tried to push this anymore, it would have flopped even harder.
Yeah.
But
acting though, or
acting? No, I think we pretty much covered the acting. It's
or the lack or
lack
the
thereof,
the lacting, as we'll call it, the lacking of the acting. I mean,
because even looking up the IMDb, none of our actors really had anything of notoriety.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, dare I say, amateur filmmaking to a degree.
To a degree.
But art is subjective. Obviously, Steve liked it enough to request it. So not going to knock on your personal taste.
No, not saying that and everything. Everyone,
Yeah.
We all like different things and whatnot.
But this one didn't do it.
Yeah, and like this is actually like the same director who did what is it, Puppet Master Littlest Reich.
Same director?
Yeah, I believe it was. He might have been a writer.
Well, the gore was pretty heavy in that one, and I mean, at least Littlest Reich was written by S. Craig Zahler, who's the dude who did Bone Tomahawk and Brawl in Cell Block 99. So maybe that's why. Maybe with a better script, like I actually didn't think it was filmed that bad. If we're gonna segue into cinematography, there were some shot selections in this house where the predominance of the film takes place that perhaps weren't as good. But I thought the kills were at least, you know, orchestrated in the camera movement and stuff in a gruesome fashion, especially where one guy gets his head like axed off.
Yeah.
That might have been my favorite kill in this. But
I think my issue, especially with the cinematography, is the graininess. Like in the wobble camera.
Yeah, there's lots of wobble.
Yeah, that will take me out of a movie so damn quick. Like I'm sitting on a boat.
Yeah. Well, and also like the scatterbrained handheld, which is so popular in a lot of horror and just like films in general. And I mean, lots of action movies do it too.
True, because it's supposed to give you like that feeling of
urgency,
anxiety, and everything. But again, it's got to be done right.
It doesn't always happen, unfortunately. So
good effort.
Yeah, score not really.
I had nothing that
I
popped out.
recall distinctively.
No.
You know, I thought it was funny how this girl was supposed to be a musician, and she even sits down and she's tuning a guitar at one particular point in the movie, but then she never played anything. And I was like, well, I mean, that's an angle they could have explored a little bit better. But I guess if you're a musician probably and you're on siesta and you're like hiding out on vacation, she's ignoring calls at one point from like her manager or agent or something. You probably don't want to work when you're on vacation.
Yeah, that's valid.
Maybe there's something to that, but there wasn't really much to this one, at least for me, that I found particularly enjoyable.
No.
So,
If
Scuba
you got-
Steve, we appreciate you though, man.
Yeah, and if you guys like the cheesy B slasher movies, the straight shut your brain off at the door, give it a gander.
Yeah, and I'm trying to remember, it was on Prime, I want to say?
Yes,
Yeah,
it is available on Prime,
So
and I believe Tubi as well.
Okay, yeah, which is actually, I've seen Tubi doubling down a lot on some of these slashers.
Yeah, Tubi's got a great selection of
do.
like old classic horror movies, even some like the newer ones.
Yeah, older obscure stuff,
Yeah.
and like the original, oh goodness, anyway, I'm trying to think of names. There's lots of 70s and 80s horror.
There is,
actually,
yeah.
of the more obscure variety. So
And they got a good ass selection of westerns too.
I'm down with the Western.
Yep.
Man. Bring it on. But yes, we give you thanks once again, Scuba Steve. You have been a long supporter, man, and you're awesome as always. Sorry we didn't find this one awesome, but hey, once again, you know, everybody has their own personal taste. So if you want to be a patron, though, just like Scuba Steve, most of these reviews end up on the YouTube channel eventually. So yeah, if you'd like to ask us for some stuff to do, film-wise reviews, also higher tiers have commentaries, unboxings, all kinds of cool stuff.
Hell yes, they do.
Yeah, man.
And also, don't forget, hit that like button, ding that bell, see all of our pretty faces every day.
Subscribe. We
Yes.
appreciate it.
And from everyone here at the Horror Show, I've been Robert Dole,
And I've been Jaime and Fuego.
and remember,
Stay
stay scared.